Ibrahim ji, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Actually, I was just keeping quiet because I want the the Nigerian contingent to really spring up. That's the reason why I kept quiet. My
Yeah.
name is Abraham Paul Vatakencherry. I am a global influencer by profession, which is, I influence in decision making from across the globe. It's not just confined to India or anything. I'm speaking to you from India. And I also mentor and do a lot of strategic advisory, business development, and all of the other things which come in management consulting for various companies, individuals. I do a lot of CSR activity. I do a lot of corporate interaction with B schools um, across, not just in India. These are things which I do in a nutshell. But apart from that, I also cater to a lot of youth who want to really spring up and do. I do a lot of hand holding. That's the right word. So this is what I do in a nutshell. There's nothing much to say in that.
Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim. I'm sure the youth will be benefit from your mentoring.
Uh,
Jerima, did you cut?
Because I do it across, and I have no gender bias on that. You see, if you look into my LinkedIn recommendations, you will know what type of people I'm catering to. One is as a global influencer, you have to be well accepted. The acceptance levels has to be really high, and that by God's grace, I've been able to nurture and also, get very good acceptance rates from many people from across gender. That is both male and female, and that has been I've been quite blessed on that. So I want to give. I'm more of a giver than a taker. So I do a lot of hand holding, both in business and in their general development. 360 degrees. And since I'm sector agnostic, so I've been able to cater to most of the divisions.
We have Emmanuel. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Okay, hi everyone. Just to confirm if you all can hear me, so I can go ahead and introduce myself.
Yes, we can hear.
Okay, so my name is Jeremiah Ula. I am from Nigeria. I am a management consultant and a monitoring evaluation, research and learning expert. Over a decade of experience. I support NGOs and INGOs. I've been able to work with a couple of them, up to 5 and 6 in Nigeria, and then 2 from out of Nigeria. I specialize in system strengthening, designing learning agendas on projects and organizations, monitoring and evaluation, and strategic information. I'm currently supporting multiple projects with the organization I work with across the PHC management, performance management, across about 15 states in Nigeria. And I'm very passionate about capacity development when it comes to youth because I feel that is like the hub of performance as far as Africa is concerned, having about 60% of our population being the youth. So I'm passionate about capacity building for youth, and I also have some platforms that I've been able to engage some youth in Nigeria and a few beyond to be able to develop capacity and perform in their little areas where you find yourself, whether official or unofficial, but be able to make an impact based on the skills that you've been able to acquire through learning and through experience. Yeah, that's in a nutshell, that's what I do. Over.
Thank you, Jerima. It's Emil. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. It's Emmanuel. Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
And Neha, I have a suggestion that
Please.
please ask these people to put their cameras on. Otherwise, it looks like a phone call. That's that I always tell, unless and until they have some net issues or something like that. Because all the cameras are off.
They all are. Sure, sure. If anybody
No,
would
don't
like
take me
to
wrong. It's not for
switch
anything else. It's just to, we are already virtual. We are trying to make it as close as to a physical presence. So I think the camera on would make it much better. It's my suggestion. It's up to the person.
yeah. If anybody would like to switch on their camera, please go ahead. And I think Josh is still facing the issue with his internet and he's still not in. Though I haven't
Okay,
heard
so
any.
I'll turn on mine for a while, but then I'll turn it off so I can maximize bandwidth. But I'm sure that you can see my face now.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's basically it gives a much better response when we are talking face to face. This is one thing I've learned over time. Because once we call, it is just like taking a call, a phone call.
Welcome, Brahmatu. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi, Nema. Hello, everybody. My name is Ramatu, and I'm from Nigeria. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
You are really audible.
Okay. Okay, great. I'm from Nigeria. I am a business development manager with the forex industry. I started my career, of course, as an account manager, a project assistant, volunteered and facilitated with some NGOs in Nigeria. I also own an NGO, but not
Good.
registered yet. Yes, I talk about hygiene, menstrual hygiene and health for female students in secondary school and in rural areas. So in that light, I had a project sometime in 2018, stroke 19. I've been doing that on the side, aside my business development as a career in sales and marketing. So yeah, that's basically all about me. And thank you for having me. I hope you can still hear me.
Yeah. Thank you, Ramatu, for joining us.
Thank you.
We have Caroline. Would you like to introduce yourself, please? Are you here, Caroline? No. I think Caroline. Oh, yeah, we have Caroline again. Caroline, can you hear me?
Hello, yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, Caroline, please introduce yourself.
All right, greetings everyone, the organizers of this meeting. I hope all of you are well. My internet is a bit down, but I trust that we'll be able to have this meeting to completion. I am Caroline Muka. Please let me know when you cannot hear me. I'm Caroline Muka from Kenya, originally from Turkana. I am the ambassador for Festech Africa on GBV for the African continent, mainly dealing with mental wellness, community engagement, creating awareness about gender-based violence, and self-realization, self-discovery, and self-awareness on the youth and women in the society, as well as engage therapists in counseling of the both perpetrators, victims, and the general public in communities. I'm also a conservationist and a board member of Western Wildlife in Kenya, where we have a conservation and still continuing to study journalism and focus more on community engagement, youth development through self-realization, as I believe that
Are you here, Carolyn?
I
Go
think
far
Caroline is
or be more
Think
successful. If you know who you are, you know you're living with each other and be a success. We complement each other. So I think that's it for now. Hoping to hear more from this conversation and communicate and learn. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. We have Josh here.
okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Caroline. Yes, I'm back here. I've been having some network issues. I'm so sorry about that. I had to change location to be able to get network to join the group. So to join the meeting. So thank you for your patience. First of all, I want to start by thanking the organization IGC for giving us this great platform to be able to express ourselves, to be able to talk about the things that concern the youth of Africa. We're so grateful because IGC believes in the core value of collaborating, uniting, and then creating a global change, positive impact, helping entrepreneurs, helping people with their personal development to be able to bring out positive impact. That is why they have given us this platform today. My name is Engineer Joshua, like you all know. I'm privileged to be the IGC Youth Chair for the continent of Africa and Nigeria. So this meeting is very important to us to be able to elaborate a few things that it's our need as the youth of Africa. So on this day, I have a lot of young professionals with me who are going to share in this discussion with us to be able to bring about issues that are affecting us in Africa, because today we decide to talk about the way forward for the African youth. So I really, once again, thank the IGC for this opportunity. So we're behind schedule, and I would like to go straight into the discussion. I heard Caroline all the way from Kenya saying a few things that are peculiar to Kenya. And it's also, those things are also present in other parts of Africa. We have faced a lot of challenges in this part of the world that has limited productivity, that have limited our ability to network, that limited our ability to get access to some things that will make us express our potentials perfectly. So in that way, this meeting is geared towards exposing some of these things so that we can know the way forward for the African youth. Africa is a very strategic part of the world. We are the mothers of most raw materials for great things in this world. If you go to medicine, Africans are ably represented there all over the world. If you go into academics, Africans are ably represented there all over the world. We are doing great things and the best things, but back home here in Africa, we have limitations. We have limited resources. We have limited mentorship. We have limited partnership, okay, that can help the strong and vibrant, ready to work, resilient African youth that limits our potential, that limits our ability to having the platform to express. So IGC has given us a platform that is giving us the opportunity to speak out. So I'd like to introduce my next speaker to talk about a few things. She's an expert in digital marketing, in advertising. She's an expert in so many fields that are very, very important to us. And she comes all the way from Nigeria. Her name is Ramatu Haruna. I'd like to bring her up to take the floor so that she can contribute in this great discussion. Permit me, because I'm speaking very fast, I'm just trying to squeeze in time so that we can do justice to this meeting as much as possible. So Ramatu, if you are ready for us, I'd like to have you on board while you take the center stage. Thank you very much. Please make welcome Ramatu Haruna from Nigeria. Thank you. Is she there?
Yeah, I can see her. It,
Okay, Ms. Ramato, if you're here, if you can hear me, would like you to take center stage.
Josh, although we said the limit of the meeting is up to you guys, how long you want to hold the meetings for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So so you can always feedback to us, and we can always hold another meeting. And
No
so
problem,
apologies, I won't be in the meeting all the time since I'm driving to another meeting now. And but carry on. I'm impressed so far. You're the boss. Okay. Take care, Josh. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, I think Ms. Ramato may be having some network glitches, so I'd like to proceed to our next speaker. If Dr. Emmanuel from Nigeria is available, I would like to have Dr. Emmanuel. He's a medical doctor, a great young man from Nigeria doing wonderful things. You know, I personally have the experience of knowing this young man. He's an entrepreneur.
I think Joshua's network is still not allowing him to connect.
Okay, can I just take it up from there?
Yeah.
My name is Dr. Emmanuel. I am an entrepreneur and also people developer. I currently sit as an advisory board member of Medhija LLC in the United States. They are founders and producers of ProListem, as well as I currently own a company in Nigeria that has been in existence in the last 10 years. Over the years, we've been able to establish different hospitals in Nigeria that are currently running. However, I am happy to be part of this great movement, this great IGC plan and all of that for Nigerian youth. Coming from my background, I had a little chat with Ed Josh, and I felt like I would like us to look around the area of sexual and reproductive health for Nigerian and African youth in general, as well as considering how we can prevent HIV/AIDS by creating awareness and programs that could help to cut down the effect of these viruses in and around Africa. Spanning through this, I also would consider that we take a closer look at the mental health awareness and support for our people, because seeing the effect of mental health in our country and Africa at large, it is important that having IGC here now would be a very good thing if we have focus on mental health and see how we can build our youth in the directions that would be favorable to their growth and development. If we particularly want to see that the African youth gain access to global visibility, I think that their mental health should be a paramount thing to consider, as well as seeing how we can fit in the issues of arts and crafts or creativity in Africa. I particularly feel that we should consider how we can put in our local manufacturing companies and youth activities into a global limelight. So I feel that Africa has a lot of potential in the area of creativity, in the area of arts and industry. And I feel that we should consider how we can have this creativity put out there by encouraging the Nigerian youth. Particularly fashion and design, I see that these are areas where we can also pay attention to and see how we can push them out there. Over.
Josh, please unmute you are on mute. Josh, we can't hear you. You are on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, George, I can hear you from my end, yeah.
Okay, that's good. So thank you very much, Dr. Emmanuel, for that contribution. You know, we really have indigenous arts, culture, design, food, things that can be exported. You know, if you notice, the world is paying attention to Africa in indigenous products right now. Our fabric, our food, our music is making a global impact right now. So it's something that we really need to push out there. We really need to create a kind of avenue where the young people can be hands-on and develop in these places so that we can truthfully export them. We can bring a commercial value to these things. In that way, if we have support of how we can create platforms where people can train on these things, we can create job opportunities, employment opportunities, you know, and business opportunities. Thank you very much, Dr. Emmanuel. Very good contribution. My next guest is coming in all the way from Ghana. He's the CEO of Black House Entertainment. He's a traveler, a young empowerment advocate, and an extra income advocate. He's a data analyst and AI expert, and age to take the floor and give us his own contributions to this meeting. Please make welcome Mr. Ebenezer, all the way from Ghana. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Ebenezer, I think you need to mute yourself. Mute yourself. Oh, that's
Okay.
good.
It's okay now. Can I be heard?
Yes.
All right. All right. Thank you very much for this perfect opportunity. Thank you very much for this perfect opportunity. Yeah, so it's good to be here this afternoon. Sorry, our meeting had to start a little bit late, but now I am looking at the field of technology. I'm looking at the field of technology. Where am I coming from? We live in a world right now where almost everything is more digital as we speak. Even in the field of agriculture, even in the field of carpentry, the field of almost all the fields you find yourself, technology is playing a critical role. Let's take a look at some data. Africa has so many data that needs to be collected in the field of all the fields you can really think of. But if we add technology to every aspect of our workings, every aspect of our dealings, and every aspect of our lives, we are bound to catch up with the rest of the world, and then we can move on perfectly well. Digital marketing is one aspect that is being used very well. You can sit at home and you can sit at home. You can sit at home. Sorry, I'm having issues with my network a little bit. If I can be heard, let me know.
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. I think I can be heard. So we have to inculcate a lot of technology into every field that we find ourselves in. We have to add technology. We have to add data collection and everything technological in every aspect we find ourselves in, and that is going to improve our lives. That is going to help us catch up with the rest of the world. And going forward, we and other parts of the world can also be on the same level in dealings, in workings, and in everything possible. Yeah. Thank you very much.
So, thank you very much, Mr. Ebenezer, all the way from Ghana, contributing and telling us about how to employ technological advancements to the development of everything to help us favorably compete with the world out there, the Western world especially. So many things are moving. We have to inculcate artificial intelligence. We have to inculcate robotics. We have to be able to merge technology. One of the reasons why we have these issues are because we have not been able to properly to be able to get all these things in place. You know, okay, take for example, we're here talking about the way forward for African youths, and we're having network glitches. We're having power failure. You know, we're not equipped with adequate technology to be able to handle some of these things. If we had all these things in place, meetings will be done properly, collaborations will be done properly, we'll be able to transfer information properly without facing in Africa that we need help with. We need a partnership, you know, things that can make it easy for us to exchange our trade, exchange our culture, exchange information, and do businesses. So this meeting is very crucial to us because it's helping us to have an eye-opener on what we truly need as youths of Africa. The African youths are very vibrant. We are very, very vibrant people. We can work for long hours. You know, we have a posture that puts us, how will I put it? We need support. We need platforms. We need to be able to have to be able to how will I say, from Ghana. I'm very happy you all are here today because we are speaking on behalf of on behalf of the African youth, and I'm very the faces I'm seeing here are young, vibrant, people already doing so much themselves, and I'm sure when we synergize, we will be able to do more for ourselves and for each other. So thank you so very much. I see that Ms. Ramatu is available. If you can say some things so that we move further. Thank you very much for your patience. Ms. Ramatu, you may take the floor now, and let's hear you speak.
Thank you so much, Josh. Thank you very much. The organizers of IGC, it's a privilege to be a part of this auspicious meeting, I'd say. I'd like to speak briefly on a couple of things I highlighted here regarding the way forward for African youths. As my friends have spoken from Ghana and Nigeria as well, just a brief highlight on education, skill development, innovation, and sustainability, and as well mental health. These are factors that really affect individuals as people. But let's start with education. We understand that education is the foundation for unlocking potentials in a human, right? And unlocking opportunities. However, our focus this time is on African youth, right? We would, however, move our gaze from the regular formal education to skill development. You'd agree with me that most Africans are not skillful. I mean, if you submit your resume today in any organization, questions will be asked as regard what kind of skill do you have that can fit, that can make you qualify and fit into the organization. Hence, there's a need, there's a huge need for skill development and acquisition. These skills could involve vocational skills, soft skills, right, in technology, in renewable energy, engineering. You can talk about skills like well-being, vocational skills acquisition, right? These can qualify you to function in engineering. You can talk about communication skills. These can help you in any sector that you find yourself, because humans are always available to be spoken with. Effective communication is very important, which most of, individuals, African youths lack. So there's a huge need for developing them and teaching them how to speak, right? How to do things skillfully and acquire vocational skills. I'll also speak about innovation, right? You agree with me that in our current day, innovations are springing up every single time, especially in Africa. You turn on BBC and you're seeing one craft or the other by an individual. But one of the major things that we lack in Nigeria, in spite of this innovation and entrepreneurship, is funding. Hence, these individuals are laid back. Most times, they're discouraged. Can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, great. Most times they're discouraged, and this entrepreneurship or innovation or creativity is not sustained because they are not motivated by the government or by private sectors, by the government particularly. Initiatives should be given to initiatives like funding, training, mentorship should be given to startups, young startups in Africa. So you see an individual that is good in fashion. He needs funding. He requires mentorship to become the likes of Giorgio Armani, the likes of Paul Smith, to be out there on the globe. Right. Let's move on quickly to civic engagements like this. At this point, I'm going to just say a very, very big shout out to IHC for putting this together and having this opportunity for us to speak. This kind of civic engagement and leadership allows the youth to be able to air out their thoughts, their opinion, their concerns regarding life generally. Especially in Africa, we practice democracy, but you know that democracy is not the real thing in Africa, especially in Nigeria. We are not given the opportunity to actually talk about the things that bother us, the things that we require, the things that we need to push us to the next level. Even in politics, you would agree with me that in our current politics, you have aged people. There's a saying that we are the leaders of tomorrow, but obviously in Africa, we are not the leaders of tomorrow. The aged folks are still the leaders of tomorrow. So we're not giving that room, we're not giving that opportunity. Hence, it makes us really withdrawn and drawn back from a lot of achievements in the global space. How about internet? Like Josh rightly said, we're having this glitch. They don't have access to good internet. You agree with that? My light just went off. So all of this, imagine a startup trying to make shoes or trying to make outfits. He's unable to achieve goals or meet targets, as the case may be, because of these shortcomings in Africa. Hence, there's a huge need, there's a huge gap between where we are and where we ought to be. So there's a need for intervention and for us to be able to make headway and be in the limelight. So I'll also speak briefly about mental health. So as much as we talk about individuals being innovative, if you're not in the right frame of mind, you'll not be able to think properly. Mental health in Africa is very crucial, however, overlooked. People don't talk about mental health in Africa, in Nigeria especially. Nobody cares about your mental health. You just survive. The way you move from one point to another, how you fend for your people, how you fend for yourself, is not the thing that is considered. Hence, we need there's a need for providing support services, raising awareness for mental health and stigmatization, right? I think I came across a mental health campaign sometime last year, Mind Matters in Nigeria. These kind of campaigns and awareness should be invested in, and more of them should spring up in Nigeria and in Africa at large. Having said all of this, if we are able to provide education, skill development platforms, innovation platforms, funding, internet for people, for individuals in Africa, if we are not able to transfer this, from one generation to another, there's completely, these things will completely be lost. Hence, there's a huge need for sustainability in all of these factors, provisions that will be made eventually. There's a need for a transfer from one generation to another so that our resources are not lost, so that the knowledge we have impacted is not lost, so that the skill acquired is also not lost, so that the funds are also transferable, so that there's continuity and there's recycling of business. So in conclusion, I think my time is up. In conclusion, we need to focus on entrepreneurship, on leadership, on mental health, on sustainability in Africa to grow and create a bright future for the generation. Thank you so much, IGC. Thank you so much, Josh, for this opportunity. Thank you.
You're welcome, and you have spoken very, very well. As a matter of fact, you touched a very vital point to me, and I'm sure it's to the whole of Africa. You know, we don't spell it out enough when it comes to mental health. You know, we are found ourselves in a place where the economy have squeezed everybody out of a good mental health. You know, everybody's thinking survival now. When you're thinking, everybody on an edge, so it also affects your creativity, your ability to be inspired to create. So mental health facilities or workshops or initiatives, we need these things in place so that we can teach young girls and young guys and people how to be positive about themselves, how to love themselves first, how to be creative, how to be innovative, how to be constructive, and how to express themselves
Josh, are you still here? I think I feel like he lost the connection again. We will wait for him to rejoin. Thank you. Meanwhile, Josh will join us. Let me introduce myself. Um, I am Dr. Neha Swami. I am psychologist and I hold IGC chair as psychology and mental health, and I also hold a position at IGC advisory board. And at Ishkama Global Change, we help create positive and lasting changes in our community and organizations. We focus on building better leaders, where we try to create equal opportunities for everyone by finding smart solutions for various changes and social issues.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Our goal is only to make the world more sustainable for everyone, where everybody will get a fair chance. And at IGC, we try to collaborate with individuals, with organizations, with NGOs, governmental institutions. We try to mentor everyone and provide opportunities through our various platforms like Ishkama Global Change Magazine, various talk shows, and radio shows where you can share your work, where you can share your ideas or any concerns so that it can reach, your voice can reach globally. So today talk show is also one of the part where your voice can reach globally, where everybody can hear you, where everybody can where we can try to find a solution to it. And thank you, Josh, for organizing and hosting today's talk show. Thank you so much. And again, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to the Ishkama Global family. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Neha. You have encouraged us. Sorry, my network was going off and on. I was in the middle of something, a statement before the network went off in my end. Thank you very much, Ms. Neha. Thank you again, IGC, for giving us an opportunity to be heard and to be supported. This meeting today, we hope to achieve something great. We hope for our voice to be heard. We have lots of problems that are affecting the African youth, affecting our productivity, that's affecting our creativity, that's affecting our expressions, that's affecting the way we do business. Conflicts in different parts of Africa makes the environment not to be conducive to explore different business types. Making some part of Africa insecure, enough to do that. We don't have good alternative energy, power supply that can help us sustain businesses, that can help us maintain a steady balance in terms of energy. We need access. We need access to development funding. Sometimes we have ideas, we want to create so many things, but we don't have the machinery to put those things in place. As little as let's say bottled water, we have to go all the way to China to buy the machine that can help you blow water or blow the bottles. We don't have access to these kinds of technology that can help us develop businesses within Africa and export to the world. So we need access to funding. For the last decades, we have seen that it's very difficult to get access to funding from our government. Therefore, we look elsewhere. We look towards international NGOs. We look forward to investors who can help and give us some type of funding. If we have access to these fundings, we are very creative. If you look at big companies and corporations in the world like Microsoft, we have Nigerians, Ghanaians, different Africans working as the core engineering team and one of the best in those fields. Microsoft, even Tesla. You know, we have Africans who are doing so well, you know, but back home here, we need support. If we get fundings, we'll be able to create. Let me take example from my home country, Nigeria. We have innocent motor vehicles, creating cars and automobiles here in Nigeria, making the parts here in Nigeria, because he's able to get some type of funding. There are so many innocent motor vehicles, so many of his likes in Nigeria here who don't have access to funding. We have a lot of people who can be as innovative as Dangote, you know, who is the richest man in Africa, or one of the greatest businessmen from Africa, but we don't have access to funding. You know, I'm sure when you read statistics of universities in the world, you'll be able to see Africans who are topping the academic prowess in those universities. So we need access to funding. Okay, we also need a process whereby logistic cost of intra-Africa trade and travel will be brought down. The cost of traveling, even within Africa, is so high, making it difficult for us to exchange businesses within Africa. We need a type of advocate, a mediation, whatever it can cost, to help the government or the United Nations or whichever body is in charge to bring down the cost of intra-Africa travel or intra-Africa trade, to help the young, vibrant youth who are ready and willing to work, to be able to travel to and fro, exchanging culture, exchanging business, and generating revenue for both the government and the individuals, creating jobs and reducing unemployment. You know, then we also need sustainable agriculture. We need young people to go into agriculture, but we also need machinery, you know, to produce organic food that can the next generation, that can sustain us, are looking forward to get help heard. You know, let our voices. In this meeting, I'd like to bring another speaker up who is a very prolific speaker, a very prolific entrepreneur. He's a young, vibrant man. He's also from Nigeria. His name is Jeremiah Ujah, consultant and MERL expert. He has over a decade of experiences from supporting NGOs and INGOs like APIN, like CHIP, like 360 HSDC, like JPIGO, you know, and SCIDAR. He specialized in system strengthening, learning design, M&E, and strategic information. He's passionate about self-development and transforming lives through capacity building. Please, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to welcome into the house to give us more insight on the way forward for the African youth, Mr. Jeremiah Ujah. Please take center stage and take us further. You are welcome. You're welcome, Mr. Jeremiah.
All right, thank you, Josh, and thank you, everyone. Please confirm if you can hear me so I can proceed with my contribution.
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you very much, and
yes,
thank you to IGC for putting this together, and thank you to the other panelists who also contributed to this conversation. Very meaningful conversation. As an M&A expert, I'll kind of approach this via that angle and provide us with some statistics so I can jump into the conversation. Those 20 countries with the weakest digital skills were in Africa. Imagine, by order of ranking, 20 countries with the weakest digital skills were in Africa, right? In the world, 12 were in Africa. That's a big percent. And then only 50% of African countries include computer skills in their curriculum, compared to 85% globally. In tertiary education, only 11% of Africa's tertiary education graduates have formal digital training. And in a survey of 6 African countries, almost 50% of secondary school graduates did not meet employers' expectations for technical skills. Right. Now, let me bring it down to Nigeria, since I'm a Nigerian. So I'll kind of drill down to our context to just throw more light on some of these things that are affecting us. In 2021, the World Bank did a development report, and they realized that more than half of Nigeria's population lacks digital skills. Now, Get Bondi now conducted a survey based on that assessment and found that 85% of Nigerian graduates have no digital skills. This is like about 2021 report. According to UNICEF, as at 2023, only 77% of Nigerian youths have the information communication technology skills needed to work and live in the digital economy. And then according to ERIC, which is another statistical report, 54% of Nigerians are computer literate. Now, if we do that comparison, you see that if 54% of Nigerians as at today are computer literate and only 7% of Nigerian youths have ICT skills that are needed to work and live in the digital economy, what that tells us is that there are computer literate people who have skills, but the skills they have, only a few of them have the skills that are needed to work. Now, I tell a lot of youth when I'm conversing with them about CV. I think Ramatu mentioned something around CVs, which actually got my attention. Wonderful contribution there, Ramatu. You realize that there are people in a very small cycle. You might realize that you have some guys who have learned data analysis, who have learned programming, but they don't have jobs, right? I'm talking about the ones who have those skills. They don't have jobs. Some of them, you submit their CVs, you look at it, and you realize that what they have is not what is needed, which is confirmed by the UNICEF report. So people learn things that are not actually very, very needed. A lot of programmers are out there on the street who don't have jobs. And then organizations advertise for jobs, and then they go for these interviews, and the organizations tell you, you have skills, but that's not what we need. So I think IGC has a lot of opportunities coming into Africa, because a lot of these interventions that have happened so far may have been targeting things that are beneficial, but then sustainability, as Ramatu mentioned earlier, is not really very, very sold out, right? You hear humanitarian projects incentivizing efforts to try to achieve their goal, but then it's not sustainable, because once the intervention ends and they get their data, they get their achievements, they leave. So the intervention is 100% successful, but the impact is not felt. So you evaluate for effectiveness and you discover that you don't have much of the achievement. I've been able to evaluate a lot of projects and realize that interventions are very, very successful, but the impact is not sustainable. So we have a lot of problems. Now let's come back to the youth who have skills. I see a lot of agencies advocating for technical skills, but then we also have soft skills that drive technical skills, which is one area that I feel if IGC comes into Africa, they should also focus on. Ramatu mentioned one around communication skills, right? You see that there are a lot of people who have skills but cannot sell out their skills out there. You interview people, you ask them why they think they are fit for the jobs, and they tell you job roles instead of telling you achievements, right? Instead of telling you things that they have been able to use their skills to do, right? It is not somebody who has data analysis skills that is a data analyst. I'm sure that my Ghanaian brother mentioned stuff around data analysis, and I like that part too. It is not everybody who has data analysis skills as a data analyst. It is that person who has been able to use data analysis skills to solve problems that is a data analyst. Because what impact have these skills been able to make? Africa is at a stage now where we are not just an embodiment of skills is not the solution of Africa. The effectiveness of that embodiment is the solution of Africa. So if I have data analysis skills, but I've not been able to solve any problem in Africa, then I'm not contributing to Africa, right? So I will not be able to move any of the needles that is affecting Africa. If I'm a medical doctor, but I am not conducting researches that will solve Africa's problem, then I'm not making any sense. If I'm a digital marketer, but I've not been able to tell a very good story of Africa on the internet and be able to sell things, I've not been able to solve Africa's problem. So a lot of people who have skills these days go for the money, but we still have our problems waiting for us. One area that I also wish that should be promoted if IGC comes is the area of volunteerism. A lot of people graduate, a lot of people have skills, they learn all the skills of the internet. Internet is there, we've been able to try to use it. We have YouTube, people learning a lot of skills out there. We learn these skills and we wait for jobs. When the jobs don't come, we are at home without experience. When the jobs come and they need experience and we don't have any. And I know very well that some of the donor organizations that come, they are looking for people who have sacrificed by volunteering. right? So if you don't volunteer while that particular job you're looking for doesn't come, how do you get a skill? I was able to convince my younger sister to volunteer for an organization. The organization is not paying her. I give her money to go to work, but I told her, volunteer, get the experience. Now, when you now apply for jobs and they see that you have been able to volunteer and gather some experience, it makes plenty of sense to give you that kind of job. So I think that aside pushing for technical skills, we should also be able to look at our soft skills that drive the technical skills. I give an example. Somebody who has skills, technical skills, data analysis, they are programmers, but then the person doesn't have problem-solving skills. So they get jobs and they accomplish the task that they are assigned. They are not looking at their work through the problem-solving angle. So they might not actually be very, very innovative in the sense of creating something that solves the problem, right? When you ask them, you have these skills, but what problem can you solve? That's a big problem. Critical thinking is something that you can have some coaching. Ramati talked about communication skills. Yes, of course, those things can be taught. Interpersonal skills are things that will drive your market, right? Adaptability and continuous learning. Through my experience of developing learning agenda for projects, I've been able to understand that a lot of people come with a theory of change and a result framework to implement on a project. They develop an M&E system. They want to do interventions and get 100% target, right? They set a target of maybe empowering 1,000 women. Yes, you might end up empowering 1,000 women. But when the intervention is over, what is the sustainability plan, right? What is the continuous thing that we're learning as our cultures keep affecting us? We just did a social norms conference. A lot of things are happening. You do interventions, but social norms kind of affect these things. There are areas that you go to that women cannot go out on within a particular time. There's a time that women will not go out. There's a certain way that women have to dress to be accepted in society. There's a certain way that men have to do things. There's an authority that men have over women as far as their husbands. So there are some limitations in kind of breaking the norms in this society. So there are soft skills that I feel that if they are prioritized, and then people get these skills, adaptability, continuous learning, teamwork, collaboration, to be able to network and work with different people from different spheres, different cultures, different religions, different genders, and be able to drive the goal to be able to move the needle in Africa. If we do all of this, I think that the most little things that we can in our own little space, right? You can volunteer to make some impact. But like Joshua mentioned, access is a problem. But on our end, from the inside, I think IGC will do some work to be able to support the internalization of the ideation of we Africans, right? If they are supporting the co-ideation workshops and sessions that, of course, Joshua will be leading for us to be able to communicate these ideas, brainstorm within, and be able to channel our directions towards problem solving. I'm very sure that a lot of changes will happen in Africa. And yeah, it will be a good thing that IGC will lead that project, because if that happens, I'm sure that there will be that change that we desire in Africa. To summarize, I feel like soft skills are very, very important. Collaboration is very important. And if we want to really move the needle, then we need to really think beyond just our little space that we work, but out there, because there are a lot of people who have different ideas out there. Let's come together, co-ideate, move forward, collaborate, engage our stakeholders, and I'm sure that there will be that change. Thanks. I think for now, that's my contribution. Over.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jerry. Thank you so much for your very profound contribution. This is awesome. We need to have this forum more often to be able to come up with brilliant solutions to our problem. You said something. It's very important. What is most important is having the skill that solves problems. So I think what the youth of Africa need is to specifically identify specific areas and develop tools to solve those problems, and then train in that direction, to solve those problems. Problem solving is the major reason why we're having this meeting. We need to be able to solve our own problems. Even almost nobody would want to come from outside to solve our problems for us. We have to position ourselves in a particular way whereby whoever is coming to collaborate with us can be able to effectively work with us. We have to provide that platform for that collaboration. You know, so many things I discovered that are part of the problems of Africa is we don't really have so much value for time. We procrastinate, and then we don't really value. We take so many things with ease, and actually time waits for nobody, and time keeps going. If we take from the generation of our forefathers, these things have lingered till it has come to meet us. If they had solved some problems with better collaborations in time past, by now we would have been thinking of other problems that we should solve that would make us at par with our competitors across the globe. You know, the world is moving at a very fast speed. Technology is taking over. We have to position ourselves properly. So I'm speaking on behalf of the youth of Africa to say that a crop of young people are rising up who we are seeing where these problems are coming from, and we are trying to position ourselves so that even if we are getting help from outside, it's going to be easy for us to put things in place. So like everybody is speaking profoundly. So I would like to throw out a call to everybody that once we call for action, let it be that we are taking action. Let's not spend extra time or waste more time. When it's time for action, let us take the action. When we set a date, let us fix the date. Let us fix the problem. You know, in that way, even whoever is assisting us, whoever is trying to work with us, they will know that, oh, these people really know what they are talking about and they are ready to work. You know, because a lot of people from outside can see the potentials of Africa, but we have a problem of leadership. So we, the young people, we are the demographic that controls the strength of every nation. Every nation is dependent on the strength of the young people, the youth. So we are the strength of Africa. So we are representing, this is a sample of the population of Africa. As we are speaking here now, we are speaking for the entire continent of Africa. So please, guys, I would like us to really collaborate. I would like us to really work together. As IGC is creating a platform for us, I would like us to really work together and make this thing work. Without further ado, I'd like to call on a father figure, one of the leaders of the IGC. You know, he's a global director for IGC. I would like to call him up. He's a man with so many honors and so many accolades and so many awards that I can testify to globally. You know, he has been here quietly monitoring because of his passion for the youth of Africa. A man that is very, very busy. Governments of the nations are looking for him all the time to have a session with him, and he has been quietly, patiently observing our meeting here. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado or taking so much of our time, I would like to welcome our global leader. I'd like to welcome our father. I'd like to welcome our ambassador, our IGC global director, Dr. Mr. Abraham Paul. Please make welcome.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Josh, for your kind words, kind and very fluent words. In fact, I was hearing all of you, and I've got a gist of what you want to do. And as Jamia very vocally has put forth his comments, these are very valid points, like the stress on communication, which has become even more stringent with the advent of the COVID. And post-COVID has become, the communication has taken a front seat instead of taking a back seat. The thing is, unless we communicate, we can't know what is there in a person's head. That is first place. And we should know the pace at which things are moving. That keeping abreast of the pace of the various things advances which are happening in various, in a spectrum of things. It's not just confined to the technology. In various fields, things are moving. Telecom, for instance, is going at a frenetic pace. Things are changing at a frenetic pace. people's ideologies are changing. The geopolitical situations are changing at a frenetic pace. The business motives are changing at a frenetic pace. All these have to be taken into consideration. Each and every country has got its own. Africa is a continent with 55 countries, if I'm not mistaken. Am I right or wrong? So there is a lot of stress on various countries. What is important in that country? What is the need of those countries? Like, for instance, in South Africa, for just to take an example, there is a big need for something connected to power. There's a big need for something connected to security systems. There's a big need for some people who want to purchase even things like gold, and this, because there's a lot of mines and all that. This is just to give you one example. So similarly, as Josh also rightly pointed out, who is quite energetic person to lead you, and he has also given the points which are really pertinent. And I want people like you to come out to the open and say what is required. Then only we can give you solutions. We can give you solutions from outside, but it might be going above you in terms of the need. Even without addressing the basic need, if we go fly over you, it doesn't make sense. So it is best to know from you what is the actual requirement. Only the people, residing in the respective countries would be able to give us the right input so that we get you the best output. Josh, am I right or wrong? Josh, am I right? Are you able to hear me at first place?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear. You are very right,
and what do you say regarding the points which I have put forth?
Yes, the points you have made is very, very clear, because we who reside in these countries in Africa, we know our specific and peculiar problems. So we are the ones to be able to speak out for us to be able to get any type of assistance. Yes. So we hear you.
Because honing the communication skills, as Jamia told, is very, very important. And it's true. Many people are not able to put forth their ideas, or put forth what is required, or put forth what is actually happening. If that is not known to us, we can't give you proper solutions. Solutions can be given from our standpoint. But if we want from your standpoint, it has to gel well. It is just like a plug and play. If you have certain things which we find as lacunae, you can make it the most sharpened points if we give you the inputs. It's just like giving a solution for a very miserable problem. And there are certain things which have to be addressed very strongly, and only things can then come out. Unless and until things are addressed in the proper way from your end, the inputs what we give will not match with what your outputs are. That's the main problem. I would like to get Jamia's output, because he gave a very good input for us, which is good. And I really appreciate it, Jamia, for your very good output, which you gave. And I need similar outputs from many others who are there present here today. And I need this to grow. This is just a nucleus. This has to really, grow exponentially so that we get people from all fields. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there are only some target segments out of a very large target segment pool we have. Like, for instance, if there is infrastructure, is there anyone from infrastructure? Is there anyone from manufacturing? Because I need you to open up.
We have.
So these things, if you, I think, Josh, you can take a lead on this.
Innovation.
Innovation, from the IT standpoint, a lot of whatever is required, we have to see first, it has to be more need-based, according to me. Technology is fine, but it has to be more need-based according to the strength of the country. Because what you export is your income. Import is not an income, according to me. What you export is the income. Always keep that in mind. So each country has got its own strength. Nigeria is very strong on oil. That is a open secret. But there will be other things also where you can really, really take, because I deal with a lot of countries. I'll be able to tell you which are the strengths and weaknesses. But the insider point of view is always very, very important. And that happens on a day-to-day basis. If there is a development yesterday, I might not know that. So I think it has to be, it is just like saying, you have to cut the cloth according to the requirement.
Sir.
It is everything has to be doctored. Everything has to be really properly chalked out so that you get very pinpoint answers. You don't have to beat about the bush. So there are a lot of things to be taken into consideration. And I think people like Joshua and all should take a lead and try to bring in the best of people so that we get the best of outputs. And the inputs, what you get from us would be very good. I want people to take a much more courageous and challenging thing. We are there to handhold you and help you. But unless you show the interest, we can't do anything on that. It is just like we say in like a proverb, we take a horse to the water, but the horse has to drink it. That sort of thing happens. So please don't take it as a thing which we are trying to, pin you down with, but we want to take you and lift you up. This is our main intention.
Yes, sir.
And I would like some inputs from people like Neha and all that. Are we going on the same sphere?
Yes, Dr. Abraham, you're totally correct.
So you can also give the inputs. Don't just look at me for the inputs. You can also, I want everyone to give inputs and anything, any lacunas we have, we can have to iron out. This is the forum to do that. And the next meeting, what we have, should be a much more colorful and much more eventful one. By saying eventful, what I meant is solutions. These are the things what I had to say. And you can give your comments on what you have understood. That is another big point I wanted to know.
Okay. Okay.
Also,
Sir.
if anybody have any queries, feedback, or suggestion, even you can drop an email.
Yes. Yes.
Put it in the comment section as well. Yeah.
No. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Any queries and all that, you can put it to the company, and they will be able to really look at that in a very serious way, and we can give solutions fast. So please do things in the right perspective so that there is no fallback on the timing and we have to work on deadlines. Otherwise, things will not move. Am I right or wrong in saying that?
Yes, you're right,
yes,
sir.
Abrahamji. This is just a platform where we have given other opportunities, so we can
Exactly.
yeah. But there is a way ahead that we can collaborate and work together. Yeah.
Yes.
Because everyone has got a strength. I am always a firm believer in that. But how you nurture your strength is up to you.
Definitely.
Yes.
Am I right in saying that?
We here for this team. Yes, you're very right. You're very right, sir. You're very correct. We, the team that you are seeing here today, we are people that these things, solutions have been our passion for a long time. That's why all of us are here.
No, I'm seriously telling you, I'm
people
just,
you are seeing here, people who are...
I'm giving a shout out. I'm giving a shout out in the sense that anyone, for that matter, you are always free to write to people within the organization and try to get solutions at the earliest. We will also strive to give you the best. This is all I can say from the first meeting. If you have any queries, please ask now. I'm telling the whole team.
Okay.
I want people to open out. Anyone for that matter, do you have any doubts? Please ask now.
Dr. Emmanuel, are you here?
We are all very serious on giving solutions. That's why we are not. Because that's why I was patiently listening
Dr.
to
Emmanuel
what
here?
all people had to say.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, George, I
Yes.
think I
Mr.
think I have a,
Ebenezer from Ghana, you want to contribute? Okay. Okay.
Josh, can you hear me? Okay,
Yes, I can
so
hear
yes,
you. Loud
I
and
think
clear.
when Abraham Paul was talking, he mentioned around, he talked something, he spoke about contextual solutions, and I quite agree with that. I think it is always very nice to actually conduct assessments so that you can do case-based interventions, right? Because if you conduct assessments and you do case-based
Yes.
interventions, you are solving a problem that has been there for years. And by solving that problem, you have actually created a platform for sustainability, because if that problem is solved, and then you have a learning agenda, then you can actually profile solution and even make recommendations for scale up of that particular problem to other regions that have the same kind of context like that. So I think I agree with him, and I'm very sure that based on the scenarios that come, based on the problems
Exactly.
that we want to
Yes.
solve, we should be able to conduct assessments and then get assessment reports, then develop theories of change of what we want to change, and then kind of bring a result framework of what we want to see. Then we can present to whoever we're presenting to say, we have done this assessment, these are the problems, these are the root causes, this is what we want to solve, this is what we want to change. How can you help us? So we already have
Sorry
a defined
to, no, can I just put a point here? Don't wait for a problem, as Jamia has told, to, balloon into a bigger problem. This is a problem within the problem. I'm telling you, this is what happens in most of the places. They don't come out with the correct problem, and there is no defined solution for that. We can nip it at the bud at times. By that, I say what the problems, when it is just germinating, we can just take it out. But if it is a full-blown problem, it is very difficult to solve it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
So don't allow that to balloon to that level. That's what I'm saying. And always, just like what Neha has told, always feel free to write. You draft out certain points and then give a very strong mail on that, so that we understand what you're exactly going through. That is where another big issue is happening. Unless and until we know the genuinity of the problem and we know the dire state of the problem, we can't give a proper solution. Do you agree with that?
Yes,
soft skills, as Jeremiah has told, is paramount. That is found very wanting in a place like Africa.
Yes.
Because none of the interviews, I'll just give you basic things, none of the interviews are done on the dialect.
Christabel, could you mute your microphone, Christabel? Thank you.
I think it's Caroline who wanted to ask something. Sorry to interrupt in between.
Yes.
I think given the time limit, it would be good if we just bound it in 5 minutes, if that would be all right. And again, I think I have shared the email address where you can pop down your queries or if you have any feedback or suggestion going ahead.
Okay.
That's fine. I have points. Whatever I had in mind, I have told. Now it is up to you how to go forward. But at the end of the day, all the things what we have told you, one is write down or pen down whatever is required from your end. Whatever drastic things you have to take, we have to take. There is no other solution. Like, for instance, soft skills. If you want to take a training program sort of thing, on a menial cost, we can do it. You can gather a lot of people so that you don't feel the burden. And and another point is find out what are the key issues. Next point is what are the strengths of that particular country? What are the strengths which you want to project as a profession? These are the things what I have to take. That's all. I hope everything is complete.
Thank you,
Okay.
Abraham Ji,
Thank
for
you
your
very much,
valuable
Mr.
insight.
Abraham.
Thanks. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And on the behalf of IGC, I would like to give a special thank to Joshua for hosting a wonderful session today, and all the participants who joined us. Thank you. Thank you for sharing wonderful insights. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So my team and I, thank you so much. Thank you so much.